What's up, everybody? This is Corn Beaner. E3 was last week, and I actually was able to attend one day of E3. That was not the original plan. The original plan, as I had months and months ago, was I was going to go there all 3 days, cover, and pretty much just try to bring everything to you guys that I could from the showroom floor. But fortunately for me, but unfortunate for those plans, I actually got a full-time job. But the company that I work for now was generous enough to actually offer me one day to actually go, and I had a great blast. I took my brother with me, and this is the third time I've been to E3 in the last 4 years, and I've always had a better time than the year previous, and this year was no exception. The way I'm going to cover is a little bit different. I'm kind of going to just wing it for a little bit, but for this first video when it comes to E3, what I'm going to talk about is PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Basically what this game is, if you looked at it without really knowing what it was, it's Sony Smash Brothers. I mean, there's no really nice way to put it. That's what it looks like, and conceptually, that's exactly what it is. Concept-wise, as far as taking pretty much anybody who's ever been on the PlayStation system and has become somewhat synonymous or at least famous on the PlayStation system, is pretty much in this game. At E3, they only had 8 characters to show for the PS3 version of the game. They had Sweet Tooth, Fat Princess, Nathan Drake, Radic, Sly Cooper, I believe they announced Big Daddy, and they had Kratos and Parappa the Rapper. Unfortunately, the line for that was very long. So what me and my brother decided to do, and thought it would actually be a little bit better, would be we decided to cover the booth that had the Vita and PS3 crossplay version of PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. And basically what it is this build for this particular booth only had 4 characters. Had Fat Princess, Sweet Tooth, Kratos, and Radic, I believe. And honestly, this game crossplay, and the booth was set up with 2 Vita players and 2 PlayStation 3 players, played fantastic. There was no discernible lag between looking at the Vita itself and looking at the screen. If you felt like your neck was strained from looking down at the Vita, it played great. And a lot has to be commended because, I mean, in this point in the game, this build is probably an alpha build or maybe a pre-alpha build. And what that means is it's literally like 2 stops away before you really start refining it to what the consumers are going to see whenever this game releases. And with that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the game. This game is different than Smash Brothers in a lot of ways, and kind of similar in a lot of ways. The ways they are similar, of course, if you just look at it, bunch of PlayStation characters, like I said, duke it out and try to beat each other to smithereens. But the way it's different, and if you look at this video, is you'll see no type of health bar, you'll see no type of damage percentage bar the way you would on Nintendo Smash Brothers. The way you actually win in this game is you have to defeat your opponent by getting hits and building up what they're calling a super meter. And basically, once you build up a super meter, you're able to activate a super move by pressing the R2 button on the PlayStation controller, or I believe it's the L1, R1 button on the Vita. If you connect with this super move, you are awarded a knockout and 2 points. If you're knocked out, you're subtracted 1 point. And while a lot of people may think, well, it's kind of stupid because, you're pretty much just beating on your opponent, trying to build meter and knocking them out. And that was my first impressions when I actually looked at the game. Like, this is kind of stupid. I'm only going to be smashing buttons and trying to build meter as fast as possible and knock out my opponent. And while at first I would have agreed with you, after playing this game and putting on tons and tons of times, because this booth was actually pretty empty, it was fantastic. It was such a great experience. And once I've put enough time into the game to fully understand it, I liked it more and more. The one thing that I liked on the PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale over Smash Brothers is, in Smash Brothers, the game always felt loose to me. The characters always felt floaty, always felt not centered, always felt like I was never really in control of my character. And that is not the case in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. All the characters feel very weighty, they feel centered, they feel like I have complete control. Another thing that I liked about it is there's actually combos in this game. Like, I'm not a big Smash player, but every time I play Smash, I always think, or I always pretty much just perform special moves to try to build up damage and maybe land a couple, you know, solitary hits here and there to do damage. But with this game, since you're trying to build up meter, that approach is not going to work. If you land one hit at a time, your meter builds up really slow. So the key to this game to build up meter is to figure out what hits lead into other hits, pretty much a combo system. That way, if you connect the first hit and with proper timing, you can build bigger chunks of meter that get your meter faster. Therefore, you will have more opportunities to score knockouts against your opponent. And the more I played, the more my brother played, you know, the more fun we actually had. This game is more aggressive. It's more offensive than your typical fighting game, or even more, I believe, more offensive than even Smash. And Smash, one of my big problems is, especially when you're playing free-for-all, is that a lot of people like to cherry pick. They'll let, you know, their opponents go at it and they're building up damage, and then, you know, this guy will kind of fly out of nowhere and get that one hit that gets the kill. And that's one of the things I never liked about it. Yes, it's part of the Smash formula, but that's one of the things I never liked about it. This game is pretty much all offensive. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you're just sitting in the corner waiting for your opponents to build up meter, then you're not building any meter at all. That means you have no opportunities whatsoever to actually knock the opponent out. It felt aggressive enough and offensive enough to me where I actually prefer this game at this current state than I actually do any of the Smash Brothers games. If by chance this game interests you, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to release, maybe late October, November, that's usually when all these big titles release. I would say give it a shot. I got a chance to play both the PS3 version and the Vita version, as me and my brother kind of switched off whenever we could, and they both felt fantastic. I believe if you have a Vita and you have PlayStation 3 friends, this is one of those games that it's going to be a must-have if you want to duke it out between the two consoles. This is going to be one of those prime examples of what Sony was thinking about when they were thinking about doing cross-play between the Vita and the PS3. Now, as far as the PS3 only build that they had there, the line was super long. I honestly think the reason I got to play this game as much as I did is because nobody kind of knew it was there, because it's kind of tucked away in a corner. But the PS3 only version had a line that was, you know, 45 minutes to an hour wait just to play the game, and since I only had one day, I couldn't exactly do it. That's my preview for this game, and I plan to bring a few more games that I actually got to try at E3. I had such a blast. And if you watch this video, you know, let me know what you think about the footage that I got. And again, if you're watching this video and you're one of my subscribers, I knew I had a giveaway video that I put up about 3 weeks ago. I apologize for that. The giveaway is still on. I will contact the winners once I decide to get it over with. You'll know that it's over because I'll edit the headline as far as it being over, and I'll update the details in the bottom. But I'm so sorry for that. It's just been super busy with work and family and, you know, life in general. But thank all of you guys for watching. This is my first video. I hope to bring you guys a lot more from the floor, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.